This is a call to action to awaken our consciousness. If we keep doing this, Africans will wake up. There is no doubt about that.
There's no more work with Traore. It's now die with Traore.
Really?
So the Western world, back off. This is our land. It is time for us, to do what? To manage our own affairs without nobody concerned.
Thomas Sankara, when they asked him, what is democracy? He said a government for the people, by the people, of the people. So if it's a government for the people, by the people, and of the people, and you're a president that's not for the people, of the people, and by the people,
we are urging the leaders of Africa, they should take a decision, and we are ready to support them. We are ready to support them because we are the youth of Africa. We cannot fight for Americans, we can only fight for the land of Africa.
Demonstration Nakasano, a civil disobedience. Why some of you disobedience, a civil disobedience. You see, you now you're sending a message I am sending in and say,
they were independent, yes, but so long as France was controlling them, they were not republics. What is happening in Burkina Faso? What is happening in Mali? What is happening in Niger? It's a wake-up call that the Francophone West African nations are marching towards their republican status.
No matter religion, no matter background, stand up for Ibrahim Traoré. Stand up for the African freedom. Stand up for African unity. Stand up for the second coming of Jesus, which is Ibrahim Traoré.
I was here for celebrate the memo we be about the party. So hands off Africa, work with Traoré and I just say a Diaspora, a woman Ghana mu e dia hwehwe so I just say. And a walk, a asumdwe and Nancy and omode e hwehwe so nti hwe mechi a eno and I just say e koso e wo hon ma just say abambofo so aye crowd yie pa e wo honum na just say enye asem ketwa e wo ho na just say walk na and our man for Edia Shesu, our Honuma say, Hands of Africa work with Traoré. Not just a senior bayer, na a Burkina Faso man penny, Ibrahim Traoré, Obenyan found who didn't wait me up on the man ye, and not see, and Africa, Kua, a war man Ghana, which I say, or Modi and nay, work ye a shesso, never boa, and my bibiara at me at ye, and the TV, Yabe Piemu, our hand matter, say, yes, na bibiara better from beer, our hanum no, yet see me at the abesum mo, our hand, me to come home, na bibia, a coso, our hanum no, yemfa and some mediane abna o suamufa, coming home, that I say, near coso, hanum no, yemfa and some.
Yeah, it's appalling. We fight for the whole continent. Traoré gave us, Traoré reawakened the spirit of Pan-Africanism, and I think it's a start. From here, it's a domino effect. We will fight for every single African country. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm an African. This is our land, and there's a saying in the Bible. We said, "For the kingdom of God suffers violence, and violence is taken by force." There's no more work with Traoré. It's now die with Traoré.
Really?
So the Western world, back off. This is our land. It is time for us, to do what? To manage our own affairs without nobody concerned. So whites, every Western world, back off. It is our time. That is the message I have for the world. Die with Traoré. That is the new hashtag. We are ready to die with Traoré. That is the new hashtag.
This time, no way! This time, no way! I need you to work! I need you to all! I need you to work! I need you to all! We are singing right here. That's all! No way! That's all! No way! That's all! That's all! No way! That's all! No way! That's no way! Ibrahim Traoré. It means
Do I support those? Yeah. Listen, that's what sovereignty is. That's what sovereignty is. The West has been coming to Africa for years talking about democracy. Thomas Sankara, when they asked him, what is democracy? He said a government for the people, by the people, of the people. So if it's a government for the people, by the people, and of the people, and you're a president that's not for the people, of the people, and by the people, then it's not good. Simple as that.
Our youth are not supposed to be dying on the Mediterranean Sea, but because of a good leadership we don't have, we are suffering in Africa. We are telling them from today as 25th of May 2025 as an African Union Day, we are urging our leaders to come together for the youth of Africa to have freedom. We are not doing this thing for Captain Ibrahim Traoré alone. We are doing to urge every leader in Africa that when you take a good decision for the land of Africa, the youth of Africa, we are ready to support you. The youth of Africa, we are ready to fight for you. This is not the time of Gaddafi. This is not the time of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. This is not the time of Thomas Sankara. This is not the time of Patrice Lumumba, DR Congo. That generation was sleeping. But this generation, Captain Ibrahim generation is not sleeping. Ibrahim generation, we are working to make sure we revive the continent of Africa. I am not ready to go and die in someone's land. I am not ready to go and be a slave in someone's land. I'm an African. If I want to travel, I should go to Tanzania. If I want to travel, I want to go to Namibia. If I want to travel, I want to go to Burkina Faso. If I want to travel, I want to go to Egypt. If I want to travel, I want to go to Lesotho. If I want to travel, I want to go to Ethiopia. These are the countries that we want to travel to, not to be dying because of America. When their leaders are coming to Africa to come and pick the natural resource, then the youth of Africa, we are begging to go and work on the same natural resource the leaders of Europe and America have come and gathered from the land of Africa. Our leaders, are they not tired of begging from the West in America? I watched a video of Donald Trump and Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, when the president was sitting like a child, when your own colleague president was speaking to you as his own biological son. It was very embarrassing to the continent of Africa. We are urging the leaders of Africa, they should take a decision, and we are ready to support them. We are ready to support them because we are the youth of Africa. We cannot fight for Americans. We can only fight for the land of Africa. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Donald Trump was playing an old video. A video that is happening in Congo. Millions of people are dying in Congo. They were not able to solve the solution in Congo. From 1996, the number of people who are dying in Congo after the World War II, there is no any deadliest war in the world today. Not Palestine, not Israel, not Russia, not Ukraine. It's in DR Congo. How many times our media broadcast anything from Congo? How many times did the media broadcast anything? What is happening in Congo? Enough is enough. Enough. Go to Sudan. Go and see what is happening in Sudan. I did not see what is happening in Sudan. Have they put it on their media before? I did not see what is happening in Congo. Have they put on their media before? Anything they want to say about Africa, when we have a good leader, whatever they will do to assassinate our good leaders, that is the plan that they take. But this time around, if there is no media, in Gaddafi time, there was a media at this time. When Gaddafi was giving free education in Libya, they were telling us Gaddafi is a dictator. When Gaddafi was giving free healthcare in Libya, they were telling us Gaddafi is a dictator. Gaddafi was giving apartment to people to sleep. They were telling us Gaddafi is a dictator because there is no media. It takes Diaspora in America, Europe, to speak to Africa. $500 million for just a single year when they just call their parents at home. Mama, how are you doing? I am so fine, my son. Daddy, how are you doing? I am so fine, my daughter. European was making making 500 million every single year. It takes Gaddafi to call the leaders of Africa and say enough is enough. We need to have a satellite for our people.
Okay, so today's march is actually in solidarity with the people of Burkina Faso. But the message is simple and it's clear. We're saying every man has a right to decide his own destiny. And if the people of Burkina Faso have decided to take their destinies into their hands, they have every right to do so with no opposition from anybody. But we've seen a very hard stance against Burkina Faso trying to do what is their naturally God-given right to determine their future for themselves. And this has been done by France. But the question is, why is France so concerned with Burkina Faso? The historical context is that for centuries, France had held Burkina Faso as well as 14 African nations as their property or their colonies. And for a very long time, the resources of these 14 African countries have gone to the benefit of France and Europe. But now we are saying no, it's not going to continue, it's not going to be business as usual. Burkina Faso is taking back what rightfully belongs to Burkina Faso. And this is not a fight that's limited to just Burkina Faso. This is a core to sovereignty for all of Africa. And we're saying we cannot do this as individual African states, but we are going to do this as a united African nation. And that is what we are looking to bring about. The birth of a united Africa that's going to stand as one super nation and not tiny little fragments that were created at the Berlin conference. So our march today is simple. We're saying the people of Burkina Faso are no different from the people of Ghana. Neither are they different from the people of Congo. We stand united with every African today, being African Union Day and African Liberation Day. We're marking this as the beginning of a journey towards self-determination and sovereignty. That's why we are marching today.
Okay, and is it going to bring any good impact?
Definitely. So, if you watch the current situation of Burkina Faso, not too long ago, they could not afford basic education. There was hunger in a land that had abundant resources. And like I mentioned before, all of these resources were going to the benefit of other people. So self-determination, being able to control not just your land, but your resources and everything that belongs to you, gives you the opportunity to be able to provide for your people better living conditions and the likes. You see, so this is actually going to have a life-changing impact on the people of Burkina Faso and the people of Africa in general. Yes.
Well, we're marching for unity with Captain Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso and all of our African countries that are finally standing up to the colonial masters and imperialists. We are standing united, showing our unity, our solidarity with our African countries for us to finally be free.
Okay. So are you sure this work will bring a good impact to Africans?
Well, it will raise awareness, and that's the first thing you need to do, raise awareness so that people know this is an issue that they need to start investigating. And each person, wherever they are, have to start looking at the facts, doing some investigation, reading up about, what is going on in our countries and the history of our countries and colonialism and neo-colonialism, and find our way to freedom. And everybody have to participate, every single person.
Thank you so much.
Excuse my language. Like I said, because maybe I look at some more answer. But foolish people also grow old. And they grow up to become idiots. And if they have leaders, I want I said, I'm doing who young who now get out my until you have friend I have to see your friend and say again the benefit. Yeah, that she, yeah, one chintin I had there. sorry, Obian sorry. And then let me expect to say, Ghana name number sorry. But who say, Bebrena was sorry. Say, Timian, I have to say, my way. Kosi, Brony, Casano, Bayan. I know catcher or say, Ujapa, the new was through. Or Chelsea, Ujapa, the new was through. What can I say? And I will hear through, and I know Sisa Japan, the new was in. Until wake up, Ghanaian, wake up. Wake up! Sachimienu asori demunu munjaye na dia ye na ye o my Ghana de ye jimi nyina to the benefit share of ewenu humanity e wo Ghana anu na ye say ye wo ye nyame sumu ansa na consider ni edu Africa ntinu Young way of so that for no time I do say, Yapamomo. I just where yes, such an no means sending warning to away imperialists. Omubo on my Ghana Kronunina. So we are coming after you. Yeba, the next when you say, no, we assemble in some of your embassies. Yeba new or Yeba Niakuho. Yeba say because demonstration Nakasano a civil disobedience. Why some of you Yeba ni Aguho and disobedience, a civil disobedience. You see Yeba di Aguho, now your son ni Aguho. Assemble message I am sending in and say. Pack your things and leave our country. We want to develop in freedom. We want to develop in privacy. Yeah, privacy say, oh my God, no, I'm calling you. Until I hear you.
I'm saying, if it is here, and I had the no, and I and see happy. Okay. We are sure say every month to be, and I was saying, be to say, the masses of the door now to say, we do say a custom. Until when just the beginning, until the turn out to be but a baby breed. Because and then Africa, and yet, penny for an ebrew, a young. And my system no adding am I a bread because for the last 45 years Ghana is a British colony on my way and a free state and independence now you know we still time there is no independence in Ghana not until Ghanaians are freed. Yeah,
it's a social and Burkina Faso the president O2 woman for be so peninsula same way pan oti e no fa ne sen
no de normal anya na start ache since nkruma abresu nyina no America to omanisi nkruma nko aso the whole Africa because some who say nkruma ni obi anana adwini mu do to Africa for penny for African penny for nyina for say ya nya ni say ye mu o ma ni say ma ya ma nko aso mu no enkosi bi omo ma meje the resources bi anti nkruma ana AU day 1963 ya form African Union and then AU day anti no the remembrance of coming Nkrumah anti Nkrumah no ya ehunu mi ma ehunu da nanso Traore as Kwame Nkrumah na mu yes nti we hwɛ dia Traore ya ma Burkina Faso na was African penny for na omo adwen papa ma omo man no omo ye de Ibrahim Traoré eye bi said de be ya obi je no nkoa ene nkromu fo afiri nkwasom Ghana na other African nations that's wo no neo-colonialism and this is the time I also free je hu free nkwasom
So we are here in solidarity with him for, you know, being a revolutionary and the threat of the Western imperialists against the Sahel revolutionaries. So we are letting them know that we are solidly with Ibrahim Traoré, we are solidly with our revolutionaries all over Africa, that this wasn't in the past when they gave us misinformation. They misinformed us, used us against people that are supposed to liberate us from the neo-colonialism and all those things. So right now, we are just letting them know that African youth are awake. So this march is a march to call on the consciousness of Africans. That is what this march is for. We are stepping out like this to march to tell our other Ghanaians, other Africans that it is time that we wake up and stand in solidarity with Traoré. We cannot be at home when our continent is burning. That is the message. That is the message we are sending. That's why we said stand with Traoré. Africa must be free. Stand with Traoré. Africa must unite. So it is very important for us to unite as a people. This is the message.
Okay. And can this bring some impact to the nation and Africa as a whole?
Please come again.
Can this bring an impact to
Yes,
Africa?
of course. As I said before, this is a call to action, to awaken our consciousness. If we keep doing this, Africans will wake up. There is no doubt about that. What we just need to what we need to do is not to be broken down, is not to get tired. We have to keep marching. You understand? Even when we feel like it is hopeless, like it's not yielding fruit, we have to keep marching. We have to keep calling on the consciousness of Africans. You can see the numbers today. The last time we were out, it wasn't these numbers. You can attest to that. On 30th of March, it wasn't this 30th of April. So you look at these numbers, and I'm telling you, the next time we'll come out, we'll have thousands, if not millions. People will come all over Africa to this Ghana, because our independence in Africa started from Ghana. So if we must be free from neo-colonialism, I believe it must start from Ghana. That is the truth. I know Ibrahim Traoré is doing it in Burkina Faso, but the true liberation of Africa must start from his roots in Ghana here. That is why I come all the way from Ghana anytime there is a march here in Ghana to make sure I stand with them in solidarity, because I understand our ancestral roots to liberation, how much it is imprinted in Ghana. You understand? So that is what we are doing. Africa must wake up. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what is happening here, it simply means that Africa is awakening. Yes. You understand? There are a lot of people who understand what is going on, but the medium was not there those days. But today we are using our medium to express what we want, to say that we want the unity of Africa. And today being the African Unity Day, we are saying that all the borders need to be removed. You understand? We need the United States. The United States did not start just as United States. We are talking about something. How many states that came together and they formed the United States? 54 states. And these states came together and unite against any unity Africa. The only message the imperialists don't want to hear is to hear anything about Africa unity. They don't want to hear it. Why? Because if Africa unite and you are coming to sign a deal with Ghana, if Africa unite and you are coming to sign a deal with Ghana, it means that you have to go according to the conduct and the mining code of Africa, not Ghana. If we have US or Europe-Africa summit, we are going to have 3 representatives where they can be able to speak with one voice for all Africa. One of the reasons why our leaders, whenever they go to these meetings, their voices are not heard. Their voices don't make wave across the media is because all of you 50-something people, and you went there, you are saying different things. Imagine you have a representative and then they speak with one voice. That is 54 states speaking together. That is why the United States will always have their hands or their words so powerful over all the other how do you call it, countries in Africa and the continent. Because we are talking, if the United States speak, we are talking about 50-something states, 54 states. So it's a powerful statement. But you, Ghana, you cannot go there and use your word to override 54 people. It doesn't work like that, which is the reason why we need to come together. What is happening in Congo, if we are to unite, that thing wouldn't have been happening. We can contribute our forces together and then battle that. Last time we heard, African Union, ECOWAS, they were planning to go after Ibrahim Traoré, they were trying to go after the Sahel because there have been revolution or coup d'etat there. Meanwhile, you have a serious problem in Sudan. You have a serious problem in Congo. You have a serious problem in Nigeria. Even the chairman of ECOWAS, who is Tinubu, you have terrorists terrorizing your people in your country, which you need to fight. People are dying in Nigeria every day. When you go to Nigeria, the media is silent on what is happening in Nigeria. The terrorists are unaliving people, a lot of people. They are silencing people, and they can go to a whole village and unalive the entire village. You understand? And the government is quiet, the media is quiet, everybody is quiet. If ECOWAS want to stabilize peace or they want to do anything, I wish they should tackle the terrorists in our regions, especially in Congo, Sudan, what is happening there, and solve that situation rather than trying to go for a nation that is already liberated. Because the Sahel, these people came together, contributed their resources together, joined their soldiers together, and they are fighting these terrorists head on. You understand? Without the help of ECOWAS, without the help of AES, African Union. So it means that African Union have been in that region for a long time. ECOWAS, they have been in that region trying to make peace for a long time. But it has, they have not been able to even reclaim some of the, territories. Ibrahim Traoré alone is able to do what African Union failed to do. Ibrahim Traoré, the man unite all Africans together without even calling a meeting. Yes. Who called you to come here? We didn't make a call. There was no meeting between us and Ibrahim Traoré. No. There was no meeting. But look at her today. Everybody is in line, showing solidarity. So it means this is the time for it. Respect.
Democracy. Come on, you're fighting for freedom. Send your organization. That's what you are. Come on, so say you freedom. You better go Mubium. You go here Mubium. America, France, Europe, Ibrahim Traoré, Fako. Oh, those second area. What was South Africa now? Yawahama Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim Jesus. Africa Jesus. Ibrahim Jesus. Africa. Ibrahim Ibrahim is the second coming of Jesus Christ. The second coming of Jesus Christ now. Ibrahim is the second coming of Jesus Christ. Ibrahim democratic system so Africa. No matter no matter region, no matter background, stand up for Ibrahim Traoré. Stand up for the African freedom. Stand up for African unity. Stand up for the second coming of Jesus, which is Ibrahim Traoré. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone, to my African brothers and sisters across the globe. Yes, we keep sending messages, signals to the world, to the other parts of the world that we are awake now. We should come together as one. Africa is only one. We have one continent, that is Africa. Okay, Africa is only one continent. So we should come together. Because who show youth unemployment now? It's appalling. It's nothing to write home about. Yet in Africa, but we have all Nyamia Shraya with all the natural resources you can think of. What you say, but what is the impact or what's the essence of it? PhD holders, master's degrees, you understand? Until this time, Traoré, sorry. What I say, it was a good thing, even though we don't support coup. But said, oh yeah, who say Crawford Brewer Africa. See the illegal migration. Ebimo who were quite so, what I say, but we don't even enjoy what God has blessed us with, the mineral resources. I mean, and see, this time their youth, I was saying sorry, young boom, Nayama African Susu, and Danny, the center of the world. What I say. Because the woman who send it, message that your voice has to be, our voices have to be heard, because your voice in the who says the Africa sorry, but young Kasane Shedema or be a problem, especially with the youth. What you are saying, yes, I wouldn't say 30 of nowhere here, but the number was not. But today being the African Union Day, informally your friend is saying Organization of West African Unity. What I said, but this time it's AU, African Union Day. Intina you see day way young fans. Ras Aswad, blessed man, blessed respect. Intina you see we no eka say my sign sending signal and our warning and our message. Emma we are saying we don't hate the white man. What I said, but the our dream bunny towards African hate you. Baby, nancy and fire. Okay, you know when no, and yes, I'm more about community. No, my giant, move back to say message now, uncle, yeah, like an hour, yes, or once, I ever say you. What I say, and you know, me who say a Ghana for hand with a year, but other diaspora, Omodosu, and then I Ghana for Ghana, the Uncrophone Musrad, Omodosu, they are afraid, your friend is saying, I dream bonnie, excuse my language, because Obisro say, oh, yeah, banner police watch here, you have to come out, die as die by raising your voice to, in solidarity with your brothers and sisters than die being a coward. What you say, Kasaye, Kasama umai, what you say, one Kasama umai, why never Kasama umai, one Jina Swama umai, why never Jina Swama umai, until Yakun Kwa, when him say you died as a hero, you understand, you died as a hero, people will remember you, you know, for what you stood for. What you say, people will always remember, oh, this lady, she was here on this day, she said this, she said that, and it impacted so many lives. What you say, but who shed them, shed diasporans, no, Jamaicans, ni wine one, or Muninaba. Me, I'm from the northern part of Ghana. What you say, but I stand for the truth. A lot of you, PhD holders, master's degrees, they are sitting at homes, no jobs, but we are blessed with all the natural mineral resources you can think of. What is happening? So we are awake now. We are awake. You understand? No more imperialism, no more capitalism. Imperialism back off, capitalism back off. We stand for the truth. Africa is working again. We have started again. What you say? Amen. Yes, we can.
Today, as I speak for the Convention People's Party, Kwame Nkrumah's party, and we are re-echoing the emancipation of the continent. Whatever is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Niger, it's like the Francophone countries moving towards their republican status. This is what Pan-Africans see, that Francophone West Africa is now marching towards its republican status. Ghana is already a republic, Nigeria is a republic, and all other English-speaking West African countries gained their republics. Francophone West Africa never gained its republican status. They were independent, yes, but so long as France was controlling them, they were not republics. What is happening in Burkina Faso? What is happening in Mali? What is happening in Niger? It's a wake-up call that the Francophone West African nations are marching towards their republican status. As a member of the Convention People's Party, as the running mate of the Convention People's Party in the 2024 election, and speaking on the podium of Pan-Africanism, it is a signal to the world that Francophone West Africa is moving towards its republican status. We want France to understand that the same way the British, the Portuguese, and the Spanish relinquished their hold and gave their territories the republican status, it is time for the French to understand that there is time for everything. Whatever is happening is what we call dialectics. It is when revolutionary changes occur naturally. So it's a natural tendency that France's hold on Francophone West Africa has come to an end. And I don't understand why Macron and his colleagues find it difficult to understand. Macron and his French people, Macron and his French colleagues should understand that dialectics have set in. Therefore, Francophone West Africa is gradually marching towards its republican status. This is not a difficult situation when it comes to politicking. If France understands that there is time for everything, if France understands that Francophone West Africa have gotten independence, but they don't have a republic, then what is happening is just the situation that Ibrahim Traoré, Assimi Goïta, and all the leaders in the 3 Sahel regions have ignited France and its colonies to understand that it is time for Francophone West Africa to gain its republican status.
Already, I be mu independence crisis here day. Walk ye free. Rate runabout. And I just say to an more I be mu independence and it's Africa must unite. Where asumdre and nantie that's peace walk. I just omunina to an more send na Burkina Faso man penny Ibrahim Traoré. Ninyama power beye ediama Burkina Faso and Africa no bibia ebetimi ewiepɛ nti sabrede ya bepie mu our independence kwa ye hwɛ anim sɛ bibiara ebepie mu no kyese ye de eba beto amanim.
The cameras are too close. We have a minute of silence. We have to talk to the ancestors before we move forward, please. A minute of silence to respect the ancestors. Thank you, guys.
Cha manyaba. Nime name. Mene hogba. Nima hogba. Name hogba. Okweje mawu. Mene woba onye. Ake Africa jakumi bi. And one bi promo. Mobo na le promo kenile. Yes, no ni shi woje. Africa odrowo. Shimowe bimo kejira mo. Already years ago, about more as slaves like a water. Now, after 4 years, we fought back and we took our independence. Independence is not okay. What now? Before make I'm a pileno. Gold, diamond, oil, silver, nothing. I'm a small use care what they worry. The war, I'm a big corporation, I'm in control of the resources. When you look at natural Traoré, especially the Traoré, the girl, a Muslim, Shimo, a Tomashika, a Mambi, and then France, the Bravo America. I'm a camera no, no, I'm a Kelenta. And I'm a Thomas Chamele. One walk up in there. She won't get out to more. One I make one name. Can cancel I know. Rocacom, Mangana. Can affect Africa fair because Ghana and independence 1957. The rest of Africa followed. This is Black Star. Yes, which is why we had the All African People's Conference in 1958. Okay, Nico Blaboni. The liberation struggle modern day Ghana. Before Gold Coast, Nico Blaboni. Ama Nkrumah. The challenge here. Get the chairman. Okay. What can you fight? Never wow. Never wow. Never wow. Let's one. Let's go.
Alright, if you can see behind you the podium with the unknown soldier, can you step back? Come back. Hands up, Africa! Hey! I better go. Hands up, Africa! That's better. Hands up, Africa! And then hands up, Africa! Hands up, Africa! Walk with Traoré! Walk with Traoré! Walk with Traoré! Comrades, this is just the beginning of our second wave of liberation. We are moving into a time in which Africa dictates what her future looks like. We are moving into a time when we decide what we do with our resources. We are moving into a time when our leaders are our leaders and not puppets of the West. Hands off, Africa! Hands off, Africa! Hands off, Africa! And we have a lot of comrades here of many organizations, Pan-Africanist organizations. We have all been doing the work. Each and every one of you has been doing the work of liberating this continent for a long time. And so we are going to have messages of solidarity, of power to ignite us so that when you leave here, you're not just leaving here having sung a couple of songs. We are not here to sing. We are here to liberate our continent. Do you understand? We are here to liberate our continent. Yes. And so we will start with the ACUP, represented by Kwame Gonza. Kwame Gonza, are you around? African Continental Unity Party, sorry. Thank you. Comrades, a hand for your comrade Kwame Gonza from the ACUP.
Yeah. Hands of Africa.
Africa must be free.
Hands of Africa.
Africa must be free.
Hands of Africa.
Africa must be free.
You know, for a long time, our leaders have been killed, and we have seen the fate in the past of all the great leaders of the African continent and where they went. We saw Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and we saw the United States play a very big hand in this. We saw the case of Patrice Lumumba. We saw the case of Thomas Sankara. We have seen the United States develop. We have seen Europe develop to the point that they have so much wealth while our people are suffering. We have seen France develop. They have electricity while our people in Niger don't have electricity. This is what we are saying that we have to put to a stop. Hands of Africa.
Africa must be free.
Hands of Africa.
Africa must be free.
Hands of Africa. We have to put an end to imperialism, United States imperialism. European imperialism has to be put to an end. Hello? Hands of Africa.
Africa must be free.
Thank you.
Trump, back off.
In 1776, the United States of America were tired of the British and they kicked them out. So if Captain Ibrahim Traoré is kicking the French out, history is just repeating itself. So the right to self-determination must be respected. Yes. Without saying much words, I would like to introduce Ernesto Yeboah. He is the Commander-in-Chief of Economic Fighters League, the organization behind this particular work. CIC.
Well, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to all of us. The person me damu ni na amase. It's ancestral revolution ebeba. Yanya ne revolution no. Yes, say anopa no. Na asa wodi yen. Asa nkoko a omeja ene omona efi omonchen. Enso no sabri aye kase yeni na yenim se abro omoso. The message has been sent loud and clear. Ebekoso na yada the Ghana traditional authorities say for a day like this, say ayamrea, you say ban on noise making.
And we can only be respectful of our traditional rules, because behind our rules, there is some wisdom behind it. It is what brings Africa together. And so we cannot disrespect our traditions, we cannot disrespect our customs.
Yes, sir. True.
And so we want to say a very big thank you to the Ghana people, the Ghana leadership, the chiefs, that in spite of their ban on noise making, they have affirmed that today's event, today's program, today's protest is not noise. Because when we define noise, it can only be defined as senseless noise.
New sound.
Sound that doesn't make sense. But the Ghana Traditional Authority, by allowing this gathering and this procession, have affirmed that calling imperialism's hands off Africa is not noise. Choboy, Choboy, Choboy. All of you are here on your own accord. Nobody paid for your transport. Nobody induced you with a t-shirt, food, as some neo-colonialists have turned our societies into. So that every time you see gatherings like this, you can be sure that it is a contracted crowd. But I say here and now that this is not a contracted crowd. You are here on your own steam. You are here on your own vulnerability. You are here on your own.
Thank the National Security for Protection.
We also want to thank the state, because as much as possible, everybody who knows the analysis of where Ghana stands, be we a state that is still reeling under neo-colonialism or not, we all know. And so it must have taken the state a lot to have allowed this gathering. And the symbolism, we started off at the African Unity Monument. That is significant. And by this we are telling a story. I can see Burkina Faso is here.
Yes.
In fact, let me put it the better way. I can see Africans who lived or have a tradition with the land of Burkina Faso here.
Revolutionaries.
I can see comrades who have a link with the province of Kenya here. I can see Nigeria here. I can see Sudan. This is a country in full-blown war. But when it came to hands off Africa, Sudan made a representation, and they are here.
Pan-African revolution.
We want to thank all of you. This is your revolution. We have over 54 Pan-African organizations, as you can see on the banners, coming together to tear down imperialism. Sending home that simple message that they may have their atomic weapons, they may have their nuclear weapons, but when it comes to us and Africa, we are ready to tear them down with our bare hands. And that no French citizen, no American citizen is safe. Donald Trump may drop the bombs. Donald Trump and Macron can drop the atomic bombs and weapons. But they should be rest assured that there shall be mutual assured destruction.
Fire!
We shall make sure that none of their citizens feel safe on any soil that is called Africa. This time, no way. This time, And so, back off. We started, like I said, from the Africa Unity Monument, and we have made our destination here to the Black Star Square. This is what our ancestors, Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, and all expected us to become.
Yes.
That we become the Black Star. That's right. And so as we stand here at the Black Star Square, yes, we are sending a simple message to imperialism. Right. That this time, no way. This time, no way. This time, no way. Cho boy, boy, boy. Thank you very much. Yes. Revolutionary. No media to inform them about whatever our good leaders are doing. Today we have the media. We are not listening to BBC. We are not listening to the CIA. We are not listening to the CNN for them to come and give us fake news about good leaders in Africa. This time around we are not sleeping. And we are telling them enough is enough. We are sending a warning to African leaders. They should remember 1963 in Ethiopia. The capital city of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah told them, if we live here as a leaders and we don't have the United States of Africa, our children are going to continue to suffer. Our generation are going to continue to suffer because they were not able to listen to Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah. We are suffering and seeing it today. But we are telling them that with the help of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, with the stand of the youth of Africa, that when you touch Captain Ibrahim Traoré, you touch the youth of Africa. When you touch Captain Ibrahim Traoré, you touch the soil of Africa. We are not sleeping this time. I was so much disappointed when I see Donald Trump speaking to Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa. He's speaking to the president as his own biological son. And I said, how dare you, Donald Trump, to speak to an African leader? When you come to the land of Africa, you pick the natural resource of our land. Before we arrive, we come there to come and suffer in your own land because our African leaders were not able to take a decision on their own. When the man was sitting down, I was crying on my eye. Donald Trump is not older than Ramaphosa. That 72, 78. The range is only what? 6 years. So can you speak to your own colleague president as your own political son? No. Because we keep on having puppets in the land of Africa as leaders. So that our leaders were not able to take a stand. If you cannot take the stand, Captain have come out that I will take the stand that you were not able to do. So just give me your support and we are going to have the freedom as a continent. There is nothing that we need from them. We have the gold, we have the diamond, we have the oil, we have the uranium. Our youth are still dying on the Mediterranean Sea because of white collar job. Our youth are still dying on the desert because they want to go and work in another man's land. Enough is enough. For the land of Africa, enough is enough. We must unite.
Hey, Africa say yay. Africa say yay. Africa. Okay, so my name is Nitete. I'm representing the All African People's Revolutionary Party. This is Kwame Nkrumah's own party. It is the party that we need in our current political dynamics. All right? It's the party that we need in our current dynamics. If you see in front of my shirt, I have Jeunesse Libération Africaine. I was in Burkina Faso 2 years ago on a day like this, the 25th of May, to organize with the Burkina Faso people on the Day of African Freedom and Emancipation. So we have been on the grounds and we know what is going on, and we say that this is Africa's type. And so the AAPRP, which is a mass-based political organization, anti-imperialist, anti-capitalist, all right, is here.
The anti-negative
is here to lend support to Ibrahim Traoré and the Sahel states. All right, where we are now, it is time for Africa to take back its resources, because Nkrumah says that Africa can no longer trust in anybody than itself and its resources. All right, so the gold, the diamond, and all of those resources that are due to us must come to us. We must own it, we must control it as a people. All right, we only get 3% in gold reserves in Ghana here. The oil is only 13%. The 87% is going to those big corporations outside. This is what Traoré is trying to avoid. And America, France says they don't want to accept that. But it's a lie, because we are here to support Traoré in full support. There's a research that France, without its West African economies, will be less than a third world country. And yes, so we say, long live African freedom and emancipation. Long live. Forward to socialism. Forward. Thank you.
Hey, Joe Boy, forward ever. Forward ever. Forward ever. It seems that everywhere I go, no matter where I'm at, where there's a gathering with revolution and freedom and liberation, somehow I'm called. And I always answer. And the reason I answer is because of our ancestors and our people, the masses of the people. Whenever they call, if you're a revolutionary, you have to answer. If you're a revolutionary, you have to answer. And Ibrahim Traoré is calling us now. The people of Burkina Faso is calling us now. I had the privilege to be in Burkina Faso in 1986, and I met Thomas Sankara. And I was there and I felt the energy of what a revolution actually is. It is not necessarily about picking up guns. It's about training yourselves politically, educationally, so that you can understand who the enemy is. And our enemy is U.S. imperialism. Our enemy is neo-colonialism and French imperialism. Our enemy is British neo-colonialism. And we must constantly organize ourselves. Kwame Nkrumah said, organization decides everything. If you're not organized, you can't decide anything. So I tell you, I beg you, me pacho, get in some organization so that you can unite with the rest of the organizations here in Ghana, so that we can get rid of neo-colonialism in our country. Organize yourself on a continental level, on a regional level, to get rid of neo-colonialism inside of West Africa. Reduplicate or duplicate what we see in Burkina Faso right now. We want Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to come together and form a socialist government. We cannot be afraid of socialism. We cannot shrink when we ask for socialism, because what socialism does, it tells us that all the resources in our country belongs to everybody. Our Constitution tells us that the president has trust, or that the resources are in trust of one man. We want that changed in our 1992 Constitution. That's something that we can do right now. When are we going to do it? Now. When are we going to do it? Now. When are we going to do it? Now. Change the Constitution so that the resources belong to everybody. And if you do that, you have made a step towards humanity, you've made a step towards the liberation of our country, and you've made a step to the total freedom and unification of Africa under our African Union Socialist government. Thank you very much. And freedom! 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 We're at the Black Star. Look for the star. That's your guidance. Thank you. Joe! Black coffee, advance.
The
The next to speak is Nkrumah Circle, Comrade Otu.
The Rasta of course represents.
No, yeah, you.
Oh boy! Yeah! It was your from country, Kakra. And to Yakabro for Nachi, as I'm not say simple. Yet it's a council a comedy. You can't say you are thankful. People can't say you are thankful. I'm saying I am thankful. Traore, I didn't say you sorry. Yes, Ghana for no. You did Burkina President Echi. Yeah, conscience. You are Africans. And I won't at the part all year. And I am sorry and then. Near me, person can say. You do Mrebia. I'm about to cheer and say, yeah, about to cheer. No,
yeah, Rasta.
You to me, my now I'm about to cheat. Now, say, who need to obey the 2 shall obey to me. And everybody dreams and they have to have been conquered too. And you're conditioning. If you both say, yeah, from the pay. Now, I'm in your home for swap. And no thing I ever teach you move bread coin. And no thing I'm ready. So, yes, sorry, yeah, Ashanti for if you say, yeah, you say, fancy for, I before and cry for. Yes, sorry, your home. And the young cabum. And as our condition in the number for added to your dream, I'll say, it's conditioning to say, obey a penny. Nasa, obey, sorry, Tiabro for now, obey a penny. Nasa, sorry, Tiabro for you, man, I obey you if you are. Obey a penny. Now, bear arguing, say, oh, but near Abrafon, I feel and some now, yeah, obey a conditioning. And yeah, sorry, Emma Traore, a person be other who said, if you mind your penny for some sorry, I am baby, you better come with you. Some more in penny for no more sorry, some of the Kwamaya, yeah, so you better come. Now, some more sorry, I'm Kwamaya, young Kumamo. And then, yes, sorry, Yapa, for say your cuckoo and penny for the baby. You come every say you to me, sorry, I'm Momo. And then you did a hand, and Yapa, yes, sorry, now your mama hammer. I go for the new one, which I'm and tell me, if you say, oh, sorry, I'm Maya. And the young Kayomo. Now, penny, sorry, Maya, you better Kayomo. And the yeah, you Nkrumah Circle, you catch him, Babuna Morgana. Say, yes, sorry, my penny for Mukumaya. You would say penny for Mukumaya. Yes, you better sorry, Mamo. And then you sorry, Mamo. You catch him, Mahama. Say, so, sorry, Maya, better sorry, Mano. So, sorry, Maya, 4 years, no, enter a beba. Enter a beba. Now, you better say, I have for the Yabayano. So, sorry, Maya, you better say, I have for the no. You catch him, my penny for you now. Some sorry, Maya, in Babuna, you better sorry, Mamo. Some Kaya, Yabaka, Nkrumah, Natafina, Omumba, Aka, Nkrumah, Tafo, Naso, Omuna, no Baka, Nkrumah, Omoyanka, Moda. It's a sorry, a catch your baby out. Say, yeah, I'm a young mine. No, mom, yeah, Dinama, and penny for. Say, Sababa, every minute, say, Sababa, every minute, a chance here and there. It's a sorry, and a young country, your dream. Say, BBC, I ever saw Yama. Make us to say, yeah, be young contacts. Ya Freya, Yanfa, Nayan Cambom, Nayan Jumani Bob, Yawa, Yadoson. Chastella, or the Nipa less than Namaya Haneji or my Fiho. Or two, Aban Fiho. I'm organizing cool 1966. I'm on Dawson Chain. It is a Yakaba, I bet you buy the Diamo, my Akoso. Yakan me Chatono, on my way, in Brana, near 1992 Constitution, no, and no authority, I said, Yang or mine in Juba. Because this is a 1992 Constitution, the cassette privatization is a pronounced role of governance. And no, Nitiate, I want to say, I buy no for my phone home, I found Crown for home. And yeah, to say, on my, I was to say, I'm my bay on my Akuma on my phone, and to make Atobia, Senya, Traore, Abaso, Burkina, oh, sorry, I buy no Mrano, I'm sorry, Emma on my phone, Sana, yes, sorry, on my way, yes, sorry, Constitution, Akutia, on my Mrana, it's my yeah, cast so never chasso. To know oil, to your gold court, oil court. Newmont, to your gold court. Your diamond, a court, gold goes, to your gold, a court. Christian, a gold, Nina, to court. Yeah, Traore, a yellow Burkina, no. Yeah, Yabu Ghana. Yeah, send a message, I'm a Mahama. So I'm sorry, no, on gold, no. On the oil, no. Now, idea, send yeah, I could follow, no. Yeah, African liberation in our heart. Hands off Africa. Africa must be free.
Please, when you come, you can speak any language, African language of your choice. And please try to be snappy. There are a lot of speakers we have to invite.
Mr. Mankwa, me office was saying this cabane de any project. And so the be a me office kamania wo problem.
Enemremu. Namonte tap sending ka.
No so ne dey.
Tap send dey easy, fast and secured way. Ubetimi send this free amanone. Aba Ghana bank account and as a mobile money account. Untia transfer fee bia.
Sir, I obey any say.
Chine say won ko App Store na Play Store. On download the tap send app no. Or download dia. Ebebu sanso promo code. O ma the pet TV shim. Obenya €5, £5, and answer $10 on his first transfer.
And you make kwa friend a catch them.
Tabi minyanwe. Esansa tap send at the good news aba. Tap send the the customers won't or the tap send wallet aba.
I know about anything.
So your customer who you cases here. Ubetimi akọ tap send app no no create wallet woso. Enti se rate ne kosora now the sika ko gu wallet no. Anase mpo betimi atu susu nkakra enti abre sema opeso send sika ba Ghana no anse wa send sika na ba Ghana anase oba o my Ghana mu watimi use sika e wo wallet no tie and
you said to say you use momo Ghana heiru
sa pepe se si tap send that trainer shim kopiem wo United Arab Emirates, Netherlands and Austria tap send na papa no